Hi everybody, I'm Jim with Vans Instant Gun Blue. Vans is used for a variety of metal projects, from large industrial metal fabrication to the person who just wants to touch up their shotgun. So the application process varies greatly. In this video we're going to head into the shop and just show you a few of the more popular methods for bluing small scale metal projects. We hope it helps. The first couple methods are probably the easiest because they involve simply dipping your project in Vans Instant Gun Blue. Here I have a piece of PVC pipe that's the right diameter for my project. I've corked the end of this 22 and I insert it into the tube. Before I go ahead and start the bluing process though, I like to do a practice run with just water so that I can gauge how much gun bluing I'll have to use so I don't waste it. If you don't happen to have enough gun blue to completely submerge a project, you can still use this tube method also. You just need to make sure that your project fits completely in the tube, and then after you insert it, add what gun blue you have, cap both ends, and then work the tube back and forth to effectively saturate your project and complete the bluing. Another way I like to blue a project is to dip it in an open container. Nearly any glass or plastic container will do. The trick is to find one just snug enough so that you don't waste bluing unnecessarily. For longer projects like gun barrels, you can make a dipping tank very inexpensively with PVC rain gutter material like this one. Cap both ends, and it provides a great means of dipping a project. The dipping methods are a very straightforward way to uniformly blue a project. The downside is you will use more gun blue, and it can be very impractical, especially if you just want to do some touch-up work. For that reason, we're going to complete this video by showing you some techniques for working in small sections, either for touch-up or to complete a project one section at a time. I'm sure you noticed I poured out the gun bluing I intend to use in a separate container so I don't contaminate the rest of the bottle. I'm also going to use some cut up pieces of old cotton t-shirt and a soft bristle toothbrush as my applicators. Of course, like with any bluing project, I've cleaned, degreased, and warmed the steel I'm about to blue. And if you're not familiar with these techniques, please go to our website and watch our video on steel preparation. What I try to keep in mind when I'm bluing in small sections is that I'm really trying to simulate what the dipping process is, and that is even distribution and saturation of the steel. So even though I'm working in small 2 to 3 inch sections, I keep the steel wet at all times and keep working the gun blue over the steel uniformly. Here I'm turning the barrel and I keep re-dipping into the gun blue to keep fresh gun blue on the barrel. You never want to leave it sit, it can get blotchy. You're really trying to simulate the dipping process. If we imagine for a second that I'm just doing some touch-up work on this barrel, maybe some holster wear on the end, it's important to note that Vans won't oxidize an area that's already effectively blued, so you can go ahead and blue a blemish or a wear mark and go right over the factory bluing to blend it in and not have to worry about affecting that factory blue. That's why Vans is great for touch-up. Here I'm using a toothbrush. Toothbrushes are great because they're also very clean. They're good for getting into nooks and crannies on projects and into tight spots. Going back to my cotton t-shirt here, you'll notice that even though I start a new section, I will still occasionally go back over the entire barrel just to blend out any imperfections, any lines or marks that may have occurred as I move to a new section to make it all look very uniform. Of course, this is an old 22 barrel, but it could be the leg of some steel furniture or maybe a wrought iron handrail, any metal project. The steps in the process are really all the same. Work in small sections, keep the piece saturated, and blend as you go. I'm going to stop bluing at this point so I can show you the final steps in this process. When you're satisfied with how your project looks, what I want to do here is just purposefully dry it. I don't want to let this dry on its own, it can get blotchy. And you're going to notice that there's a haze on the steel that is just a residue that needs to be removed after the bluing process. And I'm going to use 4/0 steel wool for that. And I'm going to go ahead and vigorously rub this steel down with the 4/0 steel wool. Don't have to be shy about this. In fact, at this point, the more you rub it with the 4/0 steel wool, the shinier it's going to get. Finally, blued steel should be neutralized with either water or oil to stop the oxidation process, and then protected like any other raw steel. The type of project you're working on will determine the protection you give it. Furniture, for example, might require a lacquer. Because this is a firearm, I would neutralize and protect with a gun oil, or a high-quality gun wax, like Formula 15 gun wax from our friends at Frontier Products. A link to their store is also available on our website. We hope this video has been helpful, but if it hasn't answered all your questions, please contact us directly by email or phone, or visit our website for more details on bluing preparation and application. Thanks for watching.